Coming to you from deep inside the bowels of a great big empty. Get ready for another episode of The Home Defense Show with Skip Coryell.
Welcome to The Home Defense Show. This is your host, Skip Coryell. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 5 months since my last episode. Can you believe it? I haven't done an episode of the Home Defense Show since like the end of March. It's been terrible. And, people keep emailing me or they'll talk to me at a class or something and say, Skip, when are you coming back? And I go, well, as soon as I have the time. It takes me like a whole day to do this Home Defense Show. But back by popular demand, I am here. It's been a long time, folks. I am so busy. I am so busy. It's just crazy out there. Is the world just double batshit crazy, or is it just me? I mean, I can't even believe the world that I'm living in right now. Man, you just go all over the place, and I haven't seen a person's face in like 5 months. That's probably really great if you're like, a really, really ugly person or you have, a burned face, you're disfigured, all of that. But, for normal people, it's like, it drives me nuts when I can't look at somebody's face and get a better idea of what they're thinking, what they're feeling. Are they smiling? Are they frowning? That's like a really big part of my, my situational awareness. I'd like to know what people are feeling when I'm talking to them. And it's like, I have very little clue. I was out buying a car yesterday, right? Or trying to buy a car. Try and buy a car during a pandemic. It's just, I'll tell you right up front. I don't like masks. I don't wear masks, okay? But it's really difficult to live in this world right now if you refuse to comply, if you resist, if you don't wear a mask. Because there are a lot of people out there who really believe that if you don't wear a mask, you're going to kill them. There are people who are shooting other people who don't wear a mask, and there are people who refuse to wear a mask, and if you try and make them wear a mask, they'll go nuts and start shooting you. There's crazy people on both sides. Stay away from the crazy people. But that's a tangent. I went up to, where was it? CarMax. I had an appointment to test drive a car. And so I walk up to the door, and sure enough, you can't go in there without a mask. So I called them up, and they said, well, yeah, come on in. And I said, hey, I don't have a mask. And they said, well, hey, no problem. We got lots of masks. And I said, keep them. I want to buy a car from you, but I'm not going to wear a mask. And to the lady's credit, she says, okay, fine. I'll come out there. Curbside service, right? And so I wait out there. It's like 90 degrees on the tarmac. I'm an old man, I'm dying from old age, every second could be my last. So I'm out there getting roasted. Finally, this young lady comes out, and of course she's wearing a mask. And I couldn't tell what she was thinking. Is she mad? Is she not? I have no idea. But anyways, I went ahead and I test drove the car, and I got all done with that. But then I noticed on the door up there, and they have this big sign with a long list of things that they're doing to protect me from coronavirus. And one of them says that we are friendly people, but we have replaced handshakes with smiles. And I thought, you couldn't prove it by me. I never saw you smile. And I just thought that was funny as a rubber crutch. There's so many people out there that just love me so much that they'll go to all kinds of lengths to protect me. I mean, they'll wear masks. They won't get within 6 feet of me. They use hand sanitizer. They do all these things just to protect me. And, I'm just so grateful. I am so grateful that the whole world loves me. The government loves me. Gretchen Whitmer, the Gretch who stole Christmas, she loves me so much that she wants me to be safe. And, I'm driving down the highway, right? And I see these signs that just drive me crazy. It's like, show some respect, wear a mask. I'm thinking, listen, I'm too old for this crap. To me, when you wear a mask, what does it mean? It means you're getting ready to rob me. And it's just, everything is backwards. Everything is crazy. And I know some of you out there, you actually buy into all this crap, okay? I understand that. I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with you. I just flat out don't. Show me some body bags, all right? I want to see body dumps outside the city. I want to see the crematoriums, running at full press, okay? But nobody's dying. Hardly anybody is dying. Certainly not enough to, justify shutting down our economy, putting people out of business, creating hardships on all kinds of families and individuals. This is Donald Trump's fault. It is. It's all his fault. Why? Because if he wasn't running for re-election, none of this crap would be happening. This is just the latest attempt in their coup, the Democratic coup, to get him out of office. The rabid hatred of Donald Trump, it's just crazy. It's crazy as can be. You got to be a strong person psychologically to even survive this, quote unquote pandemic. Because you look around and you see normally sane, rational people doing crazy things. I mean, I have been kicked out of so many businesses, it's just not funny. And I know people on the other side of the aisle say, well, it's your own fault. Just wear the damn mask. No, I ain't going to wear the damn mask. I would rather die of coronavirus than wear the mask. Why? Because for me, it's a question of freedom. You don't have the right to make me wear a mask, especially when people aren't dying. It frustrates me. It makes me angry. And you have not heard the last of it. However, this show isn't about coronavirus. Actually, don't email me or write me and say, hey, get back on topic. We don't care what you think about that. Because you know what I'm going to tell you? Hey, don't listen to my show anymore. Just shut the hell up. Get out of my face. This show is what I make of it. This is my show, not yours. If I want to talk about COVID-19, I'll do it. Speaking of COVID-19, if you haven't purchased my 2 books, The COVID Chronicles, Surviving the Upgrade, and then the second book, The COVID Chronicles, Surviving the Apocalypse, you better hurry up and buy those and read them because I'm over halfway done with the 3rd book. And so, hey, get with the program, get caught up, go to Amazon.com. Boy, you can get it on audiobook, get it on ebook and paperback, whatever. But if you're going to live through this, pandemic, you might as well read a good book about it. But anyways, I digress, and I digress unapologetically, okay? So we have got a good show for you today. We're going to be speaking with Rick Ector from Rick's Firearms in Detroit, okay? Rick is a ladies' man, and he's a funny ladies' man. Every time I have him on the show, I die laughing, and I have to resurrect myself. But we're going to be speaking with him in the next segment. He's going to talk about how he trained over 1,900 women just recently in the Detroit area how to use firearms. It's like, wow, how do you do that? And he survived to talk about it. So that's incredible. So we're going to be talking about that while we're away. Go to firearmslegal.com/Midwest Tactical. Check that out. And then also Center Shot Indoor Gun Range, centershotgunrange.com. Check them out. Yes, Virginia, they are still open. They're really nice to veterans, and you can go there and shoot. They've got great prices, great deals, great memberships. All right, this is Skip Coreyland, Home Defense Show. When we come back, we are going to have Rick Ector from Rick's Firearms Academy in Detroit. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Welcome to the Home Defense Show with my dad, Skip Coriel. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, folks. I want to tell you about my book, Civilian Combat, the Concealed Carry Book. More and more people across the country are seeing the dangers in society and are deciding to carry concealed to protect themselves and their families. My new book lays it out step by step. It'll teach you how to protect and defend the ones you love. Get the benefit of 19 years of teaching experience and a lifetime of training for this important role in society and in your family. You can get Civilian Combat real easy. Just go to Amazon.com, search on Skip Coriel Civilian Combat, and it'll pop right up there. Don't put it off any longer. Get Civilian Combat, the Concealed Carry Book by yours truly, Skip Coriel. Would you like to take your tactical and marksmanship training to the next level? If the answer is yes, you need to check out Center Shot Indoor Gun Range just south of Grand Rapids, conveniently located off US 131. Center Shot is one of the most advanced firing ranges in Michigan. Center Shot firing lanes have nearly 100 customizable shooting programs to make you better no matter what your skill level. Our advanced lanes allow a more immersive training experience to enhance your senses. Controlled lighting and target movement mean that you get the best practice and most fun out of Center Shot Indoor Gun Range. Memberships are available for as low as $150. Center Shot also offers a 10% discount to U.S. military veterans. So, no matter what the weather, hot, cold, or in between, Center Shot Indoor Gun Range is always a perfect 70 degrees. This is where I train every week, and so should you. Find out more by going to CenterShotGunRange.com or call them at 616-371-7468. Stay safe, and I'll see you at Center Shot Indoor Gun Range.
This is Colonel Denny Gillum. I host Frontlines of Freedom, a weekly syndicated military talk radio show. One of my co-hosts is Skip Coriel, the host of this show. We cover things that impact military and veteran communities, and we do it from the veteran's perspective. The show is broadcast across the nation and is also available as a podcast on our website, frontlinesoffreedom.com. Please join Skip and me weekly on Frontlines of Freedom.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Home Defense Show. This is your host, Skip Coriel, and today we have, just the man of the town, the big city. We're talking Detroit here. We've got Rick Ector from Rick's Firearms Academy and Singles Bar. Rick, welcome to the Home Defense Show.
Hey, man, thank you so very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure, man, and it's been way too long. Glad to be here.
Rick, you that totally went over your head, didn't it? I said Rick's Firearms Academy and Singles Bar.
I heard it, and you know what? And I just roll with it, man.
Yeah,
and,
all right.
Some interesting feedback in the comments section. You know, I'll address it there. But being the consummate professional, you never know what's going to come at you. Just go with it.
Well, you know, last time you were on the phone, just yesterday, I think, we were talking about marriage and, how I've been married 3 times and how you learned on the first try and all of that.
You are much better man. You are a much better man than most. Many realize after the first time, if it doesn't take, to leave it alone. And then some people say, okay, maybe, it was a one-off kind of thing, and try it again. But no, you went to the altar 3 times, right?
Yes, I did. I went 3 times. The third time was the charm, and Sarah and I have been married for 16 years now. We got 3 kids together, a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 9-year-old, and they all love guns and deer hunting and all the stuff that I love. So, yeah, I'm just like a pig in the mud. It's fantastic.
Man, God bless you, because, when I make a mistake, man, I own it, and you know what? I've always considered myself fortunate if I can live by this one rule. And this one rule is this: don't ever make the same mistake twice.
Yep.
And if you do that, you live long enough, everyone will think you're a genius.
Well, actually, I did make the same mistake twice, Rick, but I went back a third time. Most kids, most like 8-year-olds, right? They'll go up to the light socket and maybe they'll touch it and they'll get shocked, but then they go, wow, I'm not going to do that again. I just kept touching it until I figured out that, I probably shouldn't do that. But it took me a while. But Rick, I don't want to get off too much on a tangent.
Well, you know what? You got me off on a tangent. So let me go down that road.
All right, go.
One of the most interesting stories that I like to tell in my travels as a firearms instructor is one day I was teaching a class, and I always teach the shooting section one-on-one with my students. Mm-hmm. And during one such one-on-one shooting lesson with one of my CPL class students, I was giving her some instruction as to how to better perform on the target. And every so often, like maybe every 5 or 6 seconds, I would hear the gun in the booth next to me discharge. And then I would hear a most disturbing sound. For example, I would hear, boom, ouch, boom, ouch, boom, ouch. And you know what, man, look. When I'm like in the gun booth with a student, I am totally focused on that student and that student's safety, because you never know what could happen. You could have squibs, you could have hot brass go down someone's shirt. I mean, literally, you have to be ready for anything and have your game face on and not be daydreaming as to whether you left the stove on at home, right? So, boom, ouch, boom. Ouch. And then finally, man, look, curiosity got the better of me. I told my student, look, take your finger off the trigger, point the gun down range, set the gun down, step away from the booth, and just wait for me to come back. I said, I have to see what is happening next to us, right? Mm-hmm. So I go over there, man, and you know what? I had no idea what I was going to see, but it totally blew my mind what I saw. There was this guy shooting a gun. It was a semi-auto, and he had his thumbs crossed behind the slide.
No way.
The way we tell people not to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so every time he pulled the trigger, boom, the slide would go back, and of course those under edges of the slide would go slice, slice. And that's where the ouch came in, right?
Oh, my God.
But most people, when they do something that causes pain, unless you're into pain, right? Mm-hmm. But unless you're into pain, usually most people would stop doing it. That's the reason why we have nerve endings in our skin, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Such that if you step on a rock, or heaven forbid, one of those loose Legos that the kids didn't put away, right? You stop and you assess, and you say, what went wrong, and don't do that again. But not this guy, man. It was boom, ouch, boom, ouch. And I said, sir, excuse me. I said, what's happening is you have your thumbs crossed behind the slide, and the under edges of the slide are cutting you twice, once when it goes back and when it goes forward. I said, what you need to do is put your thumbs on the same side of the gun, and you will no longer experience pain. Now, this guy is looking like a crime scene. Imagine blood all over his hands, blood is all over his gun, all over his shirt, his pants, his shoes, all over the little partition that sticks out in the booth, all over the floor. And he motions over to me. He's like, hey, you want to show me? As if to extend out his arm toward, it was still in the same direction, but extend his gun over to me like I was going to, like take it from him and like rub all of that blood all in my hands to get his gun. I was like, no. I am the consummate professional in the booth, but handling and partaking in someone's blood is not in my job description, man.
Oh, well, everyone has their limits. That
is where I draw the limit, man. I am a committed firearms trainer, and I do everything I can for my students, but I do not partake in sampling their blood. No, I do not.
I don't blame you. Folks, we are speaking with Rick Ector, the owner and the master instructor at Rick's Firearms Academy in Detroit. Rick, You're fantastic.
Look, you've done this as long as I have, if not longer, man. Given enough time, you will see everything, man.
Yep, you got it. Now, Rick, you've done some great things. Just recently, you did something incredible that I don't think anyone's ever done before, and it was a really, really good thing. Rick, what exactly did you do over there in Detroit?
I recently conducted my 9th annual free firearms shooting event for women. This is an event that I put together 9 years ago after witnessing a very distressing news story about a woman in the city of Detroit whose body was found discarded after she had been sexually abused and killed, just laying in the street as if she was trash, right? So I decided to do something about it, and that year I gave 50 women a free shooting lesson. I was shooting for a couple hundred, but only 50 women answered my answered my call for people to partake in this class. And I kept going, man. And in subsequent years, we saw 100 trained, 200, 300, 400, and on and on. And last year we trained 814, which was then my all-time previous single-day high water mark. Mm-hmm. So this past weekend, man, on the weekend of August 15th and 16th, I had a 2-day event, which is the new wrinkle this year. But on the 15th, over at the recoil range in Taylor, I set my single day record for number of women that received the shooting lesson. On that very first day, on that Saturday, August 15th, me and my volunteers and supporters, we gave 1,200 women a range safety briefing and a shooting lesson. 1,200 in one day.
That's incredible.
We followed it up on the very next day, Sunday, August 16th, over at the Top Gun range, also in Taylor. We trained 738, which brought our total for 2 days, free shooting lessons for women. We trained 1,938 women.
Rick, that's incredible. I remember last year when you did this, you wanted to get 1,000. And you fell just a little short of that.
That was my goal, 1,000, man. Yeah. I was going for 1,000.
Next year, your goal's going to be 2,000, isn't it?
Well, 2,000, man, 1938. I mean, that's not really pushing the bar, though. I mean, I could coast to 2,000 with what I know now. But, you just keep plodding forward, man. And, you'll have those moments where it doesn't seem like you're moving the bar pretty far, and then you'll have a breakthrough. And I think the breakthrough this year, not only is it just consistency, which I think is the mother to all success, man, but I think, too, just some of the external things that we have going on in the world had a contributory effect,
Yeah, for
sure. The things that we're seeing with the unrest in our cities, people still coping with how we're going to deal with this coronavirus, masks and not wearing masks and sending kids to school or training them at home. Some of the other issues we're talking about is the specter of crime, what's going on with the economy. And, of course, the thing that always affects gun sales and interest in guns and training, we have a presidential election in just a matter of days, man. So I think all of these factors together created the perfect storm or perfect set of simultaneously circumstances in which there has been an all-time interest in free training, let alone free training from yours truly at a gun range over 2 days, man. It was truly a feat. It was a great thing to do for the community and for women. And I'll tell you, if training, 814 women was a thrill last year, training 1,938 over 2 days, well, I mean, it just, there is no comparison, man.
Right.
I am sky high.
Well, and Rick, obviously, I mean, you're an incredible guy. As incredible as you are, there's no way you could have done this by yourself. Well,
Of course not. No way. And if I gave anyone the impression that I just rolled into a gun range all by myself. And, I could train 1,938 women by myself, but it wouldn't be done in 2 days, man. It would take quite a few days, right?
Yeah, it would.
I mean, weeks, months, who knows how long. But, yeah, with the support that I've garnered from fellow gun rights advocates and firearms trainers over the years, the connections I've made, people who love what this program is all about, who come back every year, some who come in and, take a year off and come back, and then those who come for the very first time because they just heard about it and they want to make a contribution, man. But all of those people who come together to participate, the fellow trainers and range safety officers, yeah, I couldn't have done it without them. I could not have done it without my sponsors. And I had sponsors that donated the guns, sponsors that donated the range, sponsors who donated eyeglasses, the shooting glasses, sponsors who donated, the targets that we shoot, sponsors who donated the ammo. Man, we shot a ton of ammunition, right?
Yeah.
You take 1,938 and multiply it by 20, right? It's a big number of 9mm rounds of ammunition that we sent down range. It's a wonder that the floor didn't catch fire, man.
Yeah, Rick, how did you get all that ammunition? Who are some of your sponsors? Give them some credit here.
Man, the ammunition, you know what? There is one person who stands out, and that's, Phoenix Ammo. You guys familiar with Phoenix?
Oh, no. And it's spelled F-E-N-I-X Ammo. Okay.
A big supporter of ours, man. They donated 10,000 rounds.
Wow.
And they're a OEM manufacturer of ammo, and they also satisfied the 10,000 round order for Michigan gun owners, who then took that 10,000 rounds and donated it to me. So between the two of those guys, MGO, Michigan gun owners, and Phoenix Ammo, that's 20,000 rounds right there.
Wow.
And so, I had a little stash of ammo, and then I have some loyal, supporters of the program who donated ammo. And, the other thing, man, some people just realize that they want to support the program and they don't know how, so they do the next best thing other than being there. What's the next best thing someone can do to support you other than physically being there?
Oh, they can donate ammo. They could help you spread the word.
Okay, spreading the word is good.
Yeah.
But they can also donate money, man.
Oh,
Send me some money, right? And I got quite a few donations, man, and that helped shore up, the balance of the ammunition and other things that I needed, man. And that's the thing that I've come to realize, that if you're really doing some good work out in the gun community and you need some help and support, don't be afraid and bashful to ask for it, man, and don't look at it like you're begging because you're destitute. Look at it as you're doing a great community service project that these people believe in, and that they're willing to support you by any means that they can. And if they can contribute their talent, their training, and their skill there on site at the gun range, beautiful. If they can donate ammo, great. If they want to drop some pizzas off to feed people, man, that's great too. If they want to donate eye protection, that's great. If they want to donate targets, that's great. No contribution is too small, and it all counts, and it's all appreciated.
Well, Rick, this is a huge undertaking. When are you going to start planning for next year?
Well, that's the thing. I am now reevaluating everything, man. And you know what? I had so many things to overcome this year. Just the whole trying to do the project when we normally do it. It was slated for May. I always, at least for the last 4 years, have done this program the first Sunday after Mother's Day. And because of the whole state shut down by the governor, that was a non-starter, and I had to postpone this event. And the next opening that happened was when she started, loosening things up. And then I said, okay, let's set our date for the weekend of the 15th and the 16th. And, of course, after we had been open for a few weeks, then she came back and tightened things up. But you know what, man, by that time, I've already had commitment from volunteers and sponsors who were coming in from out of town. I was like, look, we're still going to do this program anyway. And if she is so emboldened to come and shut this thing down, then fine. That's what she's going to have to do. And you know what? I was halfway expecting her to do it, but it didn't happen. And I guess as I think about it, her best move, I think, when you in retrospect, was to just ignore me and pretend like it wasn't happening.
Yeah. Well, especially if she wants the women's vote next time around. And she had an opportunity to upset about, 1,900 women if she'd shut you down. I mean,
the politics of it all and the optics of it all probably had a lot to do with me not having a visit by the state troopers. But I did have some cops come by, but they came by because this pizza joint next door to one of the ranges was calling to complain about all of the women, taking up all these parking spots. And then the cops thought that they were so petty, and the cops were like, hey, are these women like coming down to your pizza shop, patronizing your business and buying and eating pizza? And they were like, well, yeah. And the cops were like, duh.
Yeah, shut up.
And so the cops were like thoroughly annoyed, by the call. And then they came over to tell us about the complaint that was registered. And they were like, you know what, man, the next time you guys do this event, call us beforehand in advance, and we'll just put up barricades and stuff and, just
that's nice of them.
Getting the crowd that you wanted. So I thought that was really cool.
That's fantastic. Rick, you did a great thing. You're doing the Lord's work. You're helping everything out. Here at the Home Defense Show, we are absolutely in love with Governor Whitmer. We refer to her affectionately. We refer to her as now, Rick.
You have to work on your sarcasm, man, because it came across as like sincere.
We call her the Gretch who stole Christmas. But anyways, hey, we're about out of time, but before you go, you're going to be at the Second Amendment March next month, aren't you?
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I've been asking around early, man, because, sometimes when I get busy with a lot of my projects, folks think I'm not, interested. But I put the bug in a lot of people's ears that I wanted to be a big part of it and make some room for me on the agenda. I may even be the opening act, before everyone gets, the guy that opens the thing up. I might be the last guy to speak.
All right.
Or somewhere in the middle. All I know is that I am somewhere on the agenda, and I'll have however long to talk to and address the crowd and see my fellow gun rights advocates and patronizers and people who hold the Second Amendment in high regard, man. And it always is a great experience. Always glad to be there. Always glad to see folks like Skip, Coriel. Glad to see everybody, man. And it's going to be a great time.
It's kind of like a reunion, isn't it? At least once a year we get together and we have this huge party at the state capitol, and everybody brings their favorite gun and shows it off, and it's like, gee, like 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 people with guns.
Right.
And it's going to be a great time, September 17th. Go to 2amarch.com, 2amarch.com. You can check that out. Come and see Rick Ector there. He'll be there, and I'll be there. And, hey, we're going to be the two guys that are laughing the hardest. So you guys just show up.
Always. Always. It's going to be a great time, man, and I can't wait to get there. Wait to see you and all the other gun rights advocates and supporters from all over the state, man, from the Yoopers to us trolls down low, man.
Well, Rick, before you go, tell the listeners how they can find out more about you and Rick's Firearms Academy.
Man, I'm all over the place. If it's not YouTube, my channel is youtube.com, Detroit CCW. I have a blog, Legally Armed in Detroit. My Rick's Firearm Academy in Detroit. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. If folks out there want to contribute and financially support us, I'm info@DetroitCCW.com or on Cash App at $Rick Ector. Support,
awesome.
send some cash, and I'll train some women with it.
That is awesome. All right, Rick. You know, I think it's easier just to have the one woman. So I'm just going to stay here with the one woman. I'll train my wife. But you are doing fantastic. You're doing great, Rick.
You know what? You know what's interesting? Even firearms instructors that I know, even though they are credentialed and experienced trainers, most of them, you seem to be the exception, most of them would prefer to bring their significant other, girlfriend, woman, or wife to me and let me train them rather than have to go through that whole, I'm your husband, I know what you're really like,
right.
How can you instruct me? And they don't really give the husband the same attention that they would from a complete stranger.
You are so
I just
right.
want you to know, I'm there for you if you need me, man.
Okay, Rick. I'll remember that, okay? All right, folks.
You're laughing.
Hey, I always laugh when I'm with you, but it's tears of joy. All right, folks. Rick, thank you very, very much for being on the Home Defense Show today.
And thank you for having me, and I'll see you up in Lansing very soon.
You got it. All right, folks. This is Skip Coryell on the Home Defense Show. We're going to take a little break here while we're away. Go ahead and check out our sponsors, Center Shot Gun Range. Go to centershotgunrange.com to check them out. And then Firearms Legal Protection. Go to firearmslegal.com/Midwest Tactical. Check them out. We will be back in a couple of minutes for the wrap-up. This is Skip Coryell on the Home Defense Show. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to my dad's Home Defense Radio show. You're gonna love it.
Hey folks, I want to tell you about my book, Civilian Combat, the Concealed Carry Book. More and more people across the country are seeing the dangers in society and are deciding to carry concealed to protect themselves and their families. My new book lays it out step by step. It'll teach you how to protect and defend the ones you love. Get the benefit of 19 years of teaching experience and a lifetime of training for this important role in society and in your family. You can get Civilian Combat real easy. Just go to Amazon.com, search on Skip Coryell Civilian Combat, and it'll pop right up there. Don't put it off any longer. Get Civilian Combat, the Concealed Carry Book by yours truly, Skip Coryell.
Skip, it's time for our Armed America Report. What do you have?
All of us here at Front Lines of Freedom want our listeners to get trained and get armed in that order. We fully support the right to keep and bear arms for all law-abiding families, and we encourage you to find out about the laws governing use of deadly force in your state and follow them to the letter. And of course, don't forget to follow the rules of safety and common sense whenever you're carrying a firearm to protect the ones you love. What's the story this week, Colonel?
A motorsports store owner was finishing a late-night dinner with his girlfriend in the parking lot on April 22nd when two men reportedly came up to his vehicle and started shooting. The businessman and his girlfriend took cover as he returned fire and subsequently ended one thug's criminal ways, fatally shooting him. The other man fled but was later arrested to face charges of conspiracy to commit robbery, and attempted robbery, and assault with a deadly weapon. While the store owner and his girlfriend were not struck in the attack, news accounts said that the deceased armed attacker had been hit multiple times. According to reports, the owner was trained in firearms protection and had a valid permit to carry concealed. The Clark County District Attorney ruled that the shooting was a clear case of self-defense.
Thanks, Colonel. The average gunfight, according to the FBI crime stats, for decades has been 3 shots fired at a distance of 3 yards over a time span of 3 seconds. It sounds to me like this gunfight was anything but average. This particular event occurred in a parking lot, which is not unusual. You should never hang around parking lots if you have a better option, simply because these are transitional spaces where violent crime routinely occurs. This gunfight occurred in and around cars, so there are several tips you should be aware of just in case this ever happens to you. First, it is perfectly acceptable and realistic for you to have to shoot through the glass of your car windows. You have 2 types of glass in your car. The side windows are made of tempered glass and will shatter into thousands of tiny pieces when struck by a bullet. Be very careful when shooting through this glass and make sure your eyes are protected. Windshields are made of 2 curved layers of glass separated by plastic sheeting. When a bullet passes through it, it doesn't shatter but remains in place. The bullet can be deflected by the slanted windshield, but the amount is small and shouldn't deter you from shooting through the windshield. Second, if at all possible, you should get out of the passenger compartment of your car as quickly as possible. In most gunfights, those who move and shoot have a higher survival rate. Don't just sit there and let someone shoot into your vehicle while you're inside. Return accurate fire as you exit the vehicle and take up cover behind the engine block as soon as possible. The engine block is the only reliable source of cover on a vehicle. Contrary to what you see in Hollywood movies, car doors will not stop bullets. They're just two layers of sheet metal separated by air. Also be aware that bullets tend to follow the path of least resistance and can bounce off the hood or roof of your car and continue to travel toward you. So, the bottom line is this: get out of the car and get behind the engine block. Of course, if the engine is already running and in drive, then simply hunker down in the seat and tromp on the gas pedal. Whenever possible, get out of harm's way and avoid the gunfight altogether. This armed citizen did a great job. He exercised bravery and superior marksmanship by scoring multiple hits under pressure. Frontlines of Freedom salutes his performance.
Thank you, Skip.
Would you like to take your tactical and marksmanship training to the next level? If the answer is yes, you need to check out Center Shot Indoor Gun Range just south of Grand Rapids, conveniently located off US 131. Center Shot is one of the most advanced firing ranges in Michigan. Center Shot firing lanes have nearly 100 customizable shooting programs to make you better no matter what your skill level. Our advanced lanes allow a more immersive training experience to enhance your senses. Controlled lighting and target movement mean that you get the best practice and most fun out of Center Shot Indoor Gun Range. Memberships are available for as low as $150. Center Shot also offers a 10% discount to U.S. military veterans. So, no matter what the weather, hot, cold, or in between, Center Shot Indoor Gun Range is always a perfect 70 degrees. This is where I train every week, and so should you. Find out more by going to centershotgunrange.com or call them at 616-371-7468. Stay safe, and I'll see you at Center Shot Indoor Gun Range.
This is Phoenix Coriel on the Home Defense Show. Always use guns safely and wisely. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Home Defense Show. This is your host, Skip Coriel. Rick Ector, that guy, what can I say? He's just so funny, so knowledgeable, dedicated, very, very dedicated over there in Detroit. Check out Rick's Firearms Academy, Detroit CCW. Just awesome job that he does over there. And we'll be seeing him again at the Second Amendment March, September 17, in Lansing at the state capitol. Now, I have a special guest here. He's sitting on my lap right now. This is my wonder boy. This is Phoenix Coriel. Phoenix, say hello to the audience today.
Hello.
That's Phoenix. Phoenix, you are an incredible shot with a pistol, are you not?
I don't know.
You are. You are a really good shot. And you are getting ready to deer hunt this year, aren't you?
Yes.
What kind of gun are you going to use to shoot your first deer this year?
I don't know.
You don't? Okay. Well, you're going to use one of Dad's rifles. It's called a 350 Legend. And you've shot it before, and I know you're going to just have an awesome time deer hunting with your dear old dad today. Are you excited about deer hunting?
Yes.
Okay. You are a man of many, many words. I want you to talk here for a second. Tell me what you have been doing today.
So today, a Tuesday?
Well, it doesn't matter. Just tell them what you've been doing today.
So today we are having company tomorrow, and so really all day I've just been preparing for that.
You've got some relatives coming. You're going to have a great time, and we're getting ready to go swimming right now. You love to swim, don't you?
Yes.
All right. Phoenix, tell everyone at the Home Defense Show to stay safe and have a good day.
Stay safe and have a good day.
All right, go get ready.
Okay.
All right, folks, that is my youngest son, Phoenix Coriel. He is 10 years old. Man, that kid loves to shoot. But now, enough for the cuteness. I want a little bit of serious stuff here. I want to talk about the silent majority, because the vast majority of our society, they're silent. The far left, they're just noisy as two cats, screaming in a back alley. But us conservatives, we're quiet. It's like we don't want to be bothered. We don't want to offend anyone. We don't want to get in the way. We just want to go through our meager existence without being noticed. And, I understand why you want to do that. I want to do it myself. You know what I want to do? I want to go through my life. I want to write books. I want to sit on the edge of a creek, maybe do some fishing, write some books. But I don't want to talk about controversial things. I don't want to be politically incorrect. I really don't. I mean, maybe there's a part of me that's rowdy and revolutionary and wild. But if I had my druthers, I'd be like the rest of you. But here's the thing, folks. A silent majority, how would my grandpa say it? He was so eloquent. He would say, not real sophisticated, but he was eloquent. My grandpa would say, you know what? About anything that's worthless. He'd say, you know what? That's about as worthless as tits on a boar hog. You people who won't speak up, who won't defend your freedoms, who won't say anything because you're afraid of what other people say to you, you're worthless as tits on a boar hog. Because the world is full of silent majorities. Go to Russia, the former Soviet Union. Go to China, communist China. Iran. It's filled with silent majorities. Almost the entire culture, all the population of those countries, they disagree with the government. But they've been silent for so long that it's got to the point where if they speak out, off with your head, stick you in a dungeon, send you over to a gulag, or just shoot you in the head outright. That's what happens when countries, when populations, when societies, when cultures are silent for decades after decade after decade. Freedom is a muscle. You don't exercise it, it gets weak, and then you lose it. The Second Amendment March. There's no excuse for you not to be there. Every year people say, oh, but you have it on a weekday and I have to work. You know what? If opening day of deer season, the 15th, November 15th, if that was on a weekday, you know where you'd be? You'd be in the woods. You'd take the day off. You'd plan for it. All of you, don't be worthless. Don't be tits on a boar hog. You take the day off, you get there. Last year we had 1,200 people. This year I want 2,000 people. And I want all of you to have guns. We're going to go there. The governor's not going to like it. We don't care. We've been shut down long enough. We've been shut up long enough. We need to keep the right to keep and bear arms. And if you don't do that, you're going to lose it. If you don't come, then we look weak, don't we? So take the day off. Don't be worthless as tits on a boar hog. And you know what? I'm offending some of you. You're so offended. You're so aghast. I can't believe he said that. Oh, shut the hell up. Just take the day off and go there. All right? It's the right thing to do. If you don't do it, what's going to happen to your freedom? What's going to happen to your kids' freedom? You need to do the right thing. We got some good guests there. We got John Correa from Active Self-Protection. We got Bradley Dean from Sons of Liberty Radio. We've got a lot of good people that are showing up there. You need to show up. You need to give your support. Don't be the silent majority. We want to be the vocal majority because no one listens to silence. All right. Hey, I got to take my kids swimming now. But I will be back next week. I'm committed to that. And I think we're going to try and get Bradley Dean on from Sons of Liberty Radio so you can, get an introduction to this guy before the September 17th Second Amendment March in Lansing State Capitol. So I'm going to take off now. But before I go, check out secondamendmentmarch.com, secondamendmentmarch.com or 2amarch.com and see what that's all about. And go ahead and click and say, yeah, I'm going to be there. And donate, too, because it costs money to bring these people from out of town into our march. All right, folks, that's all I got. Don't be silent. Until next week, remember, your purpose in life is to find something greater than yourself and serve it. Always remember, God, family, country, in that order. It's important how you live, but it's equally important how you die. Your family and the ones you love need your protection, so train, always train, stay alert, stay alive. Until next week on the Home Defense Show, this is your host, Skip Coryell. God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless America.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Home Defense Show. Now, get out there and protect the ones you love. We'll see you next week with more of the best in home defense.
Bye-bye, boys! Have fun storming the castle!